What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about weapon balance in Call of Duty World War II, and most often when you hear this topic come up, it's always people talking about the more powerful guns in the game. Like right now, it's all about the BAR. Everybody's always talking about that. It's so overpowered, it's the best gun in the game. Today, I wanted to focus on the other end of the spectrum and take a look at the guns that desperately need some love in this game. There are 4 weapons in particular that I'll be sharing today and talking a little bit about today. And just keep in mind, with this list, I didn't just pick guns that I'm not very good with, or that, like, they're good in the right hands, but in the wrong hands, they're kind of bad. I'm talking guns that just don't really have a place in the game currently. Feel free to disagree or add some guns of your own to this list, but I am going to be backing all of these up with some facts, some statistics, and also just my subjective opinion of the weapon. So first up, for those of you guys that have seen my video comparing the M1 Garand with the SVT-40, you'll know that the SVT-40 is making this list. I will leave a link to that versus video in the description below if you want to go check it out and see exactly what I'm talking about. But when you put these things head to head, the M1 Garand versus the SVT-40 is beat out in every category that actually counts. Like, the only upside to the SVT-40 is it has like a couple extra rounds in the magazine. The M1 Garand beats it in rate of fire, in recoil, in reload time, in damage profile even though technically they're both 2 to 3 shot kills and they both drop off to that 3 shot kill at the same range. Technically the M1 Garand does deal a little bit more damage as far as the values go. There's really no place currently in the game for the SVT-40. There's no reason to use the SVT-40 over the M1 Garand currently. In my opinion, something needs to be done to the SVT-40. It doesn't have to be anything too extreme either, like perhaps just a reduction to the recoil. Make it a little bit more accurate, make it recenter a little bit faster, so at least the gun is slightly more accurate while having that slower fire rate, slower time to kill, and everything like that. Or another suggestion that I would really like to see is give it a 1.8 times headshot multiplier with the high caliber attachment. This will allow the SVT-40 to get those one-shot headshots if you're accurate, and that would be the one big upside to using this gun, because currently, even with high caliber, it's still going to take 2 shots to the head to get a kill. So that's the first one on the list, and admittedly, the SVT-40 is a usable gun. It just doesn't seem to have a place in the game when the M1 Garand is also available and better in practically every single category. So that's gun number 1. Let's move on to the second gun, keeping in mind I am saving the best for last. But the second gun we're going to be talking about here is the Bren. Now the Bren is a very powerful gun. It has a great 2-shot kill potential, and that's the one big upside to using this gun. However, the trade-offs for that 2-shot kill potential are extreme in this game. It's got by far the slowest aim down sight time out of any one of the guns in the game. It's got horrible mobility, terrible reload time, and for an LMG, an extremely small magazine, especially considering the fact that it has such a slow reload time. You get through that magazine and you have to take 5.2 seconds to reload it. It's absolutely insane in my mind, and it's not worth dealing with all of those negatives just for that 2-shot kill potential. In my opinion, something needs to be done with the Bren. I wouldn't want it to be too powerful though, of course, because it does have that 2-shot kill potential. You could easily go overboard on the other end of it. But I think one easy change to make to the Bren that I would like to see is a simple increase to the base magazine capacity. Currently, the standard magazine capacity is only 30 rounds, and with extended mags, it jumps all the way up to 100 rounds. What this essentially means is unless you're using extended mags on the Bren, you have way too many downsides, and it basically is necessary to use extended mags for this to become a viable gun to use in the game. You shouldn't have to put an attachment on a gun to make it viable. And therefore, if they increase the base magazine capacity up to like 40 to 45 rounds, I think it would make this gun a lot more viable to use, while not making it way too overpowered either. And of course, it wouldn't be perfectly historically accurate, but there's a bunch of things they've taken liberties with in this game, and I'm a firm believer in game balancing should always come before historical accuracy, and in this case, I think they should take some liberties with the standard magazine capacity. Now for the final 2 guns I'm going to be covering in this video, I'm actually just going to kind of lump them together because they're very similar. This is the M30 Luftwaffe drilling, as well as the sawed-off shotgun. These are extremely similar in the fact that they're both double-barreled shotguns, and they're also very similar in the fact that they both suck, even as shotguns. I really don't understand why these shotguns are balanced the way they are. Currently, they're not even good up close. They're not even good at point-blank range. These guns are just terrible at everything. I would much rather have an LMG up close. I'd much rather have a lot of the snipers in this game at point-blank range or up close than these shotguns. And I was actually playing this game last night with the Luftwaffe drilling, And I was thinking to myself, man, I'd be doing so much better if I just had a shovel in my hands. A melee weapon shouldn't be more consistent and outperform a shotgun on a consistent basis. It's absolutely unacceptable the number of times you get point-blank hit markers with both of these shotguns. They don't have any really redeeming qualities over the other shotguns in the game, and the other shotguns in the game I wouldn't even consider to be good shotguns, which is really saying something. I would say the one and only redeeming quality of the Luftwaffe drilling is the fact that you can put that rifle bullet on and have some fun with that. Aside from that, both of these shotguns are useless. In my opinion, since you only get those 2 shots and then you have to reload both of those 2 shots, and in that time you're completely vulnerable and most likely going to die even if you're using hustle. In my opinion, these things should never be getting hit markers at really close range. It should be a kill every single time. If you hit 1 pellet within 5 meters, you should be getting a kill with both of these guns. They're limited in so many other ways that they should at least have that close range dominance, and they simply don't. I'm honestly having a hard time thinking back to older Call of Duty games. I'm having a hard time thinking of a gun that's as bad as the Luftwaffe drilling as well as the sawed-off shotgun in this game. Normally, even with bad guns, they have some redeeming qualities, and you can kind of adjust your playstyle and adapt and actually find some success with those guns. With both of these shotguns, I honestly feel I would be so much better off just running around with a shovel, and that's unacceptable in my mind. So with that, we're going to wrap up today's video. I'd like to know in the comment section below, what would you guys add to this list? Are there any other guns in the game that you feel really just don't have a place in this game? Not necessarily guns that are just not very good, but guns that really just don't seem to fit at all in this game. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.